Hi, my name is Jay Goodwin, and if I was president for 24 hours, the laws that I would change is a, the laws for rapists and people who sexually assault people. I would enforce stricter laws such as death penalty or life sentences for rapists, simply because their victims tend to have a lifetime of hurt, pain, and trauma that they cannot get over. Two, I don't feel like it's a rehabilitation thing and that they could be trusted again. And three, they're taking away people's dignities, their souls, and just terrible people. So I feel like they definitely should be sentenced to death or life sentences. Next, I will believe that we need to take a pause on um, giving out green cards or visas so that we can get ourselves together in America, meaning things like free education and free healthcare need to be implemented before we continue to give money to other people outside of America because most of us are struggling or in debt and can't even afford the $200 to $300 that they're taking out of our checks every 2 weeks to afford healthcare, and then free education is is basic. I mean, if people gave the chance to learn without having to take hundreds of thousands out of student loans, I'm sure we would have a much more successful economy. Lastly, I would change credit being a thing for necessities such as homes, um, bills, phones, and things like that. Because now these days you can't really live without these things. Homelessness is a big thing, and mostly it's because people have shot their credit down in their early teens and 20s, and now that they're older and made like life mistakes, they're not able to recover. And also, just credit being taking 7 years for certain things to get off your credit, it's just a little too strict with the way that society is going. The reason that our parents are able to buy homes and things like that is because back then you could get a home for $10,000 without them looking at your credit and work history and things like that. You could have a job offer and a letter, and they would accept you to move to a home. These days, you have to have perfect credit, um, three times the rent, a deposit, and a list of other things. So I think that it would help our situation as far as homelessness and crime.
Okay. Would you like me to start mine?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Jerome Bowman, and I am in this course in order to satisfy my requirements for transfer, and my ultimate goal is to become a drug and alcohol counselor, majoring in psychology. For this assignment, if I was the president for 24 hours, one of the laws I would change would first be for drivers for our roads here in the United States. The law that I would change would be to make it more stringent and difficult for those coming from foreign countries to obtain a driver's license. Um, I believe that there are too many people on the road who have been passed along easier than American people because they are from a foreign country. And I believe that it is dangerous for them to be on the road on a case by case basis. I've definitely seen firsthand um, foreign drivers in different places, mostly Los Angeles, in my own personal experience. And I do not believe that they should be able to drive without a stricter guideline on their driving privilege. The second law I would like to change would be the age restriction on tobacco and alcohol. I believe that it should increase in certain areas. For example, in places like Las Vegas, I believe that it should remain the same because that environment is tailored to that party lifestyle and the vacation lifestyle and the tourist lifestyle. Whereas in places that are more upstanding, where it's more for families and schooling and those type of productive things, I believe that it should be stricter because it is a hindrance and a distraction and a bad influence on our American children. For third, the third law that I would change would be to ban public protesting in the streets and create a harsher penalty for those people who continue to do so. I believe myself that there are a lot of um, people in the streets with false protests, false motives, going out, trying to diminish the power of protesting. We see a lot of different groups of people for different causes and different reasons. And I believe a lot of it is nonsense and it's dangerous and it's creating an outlash between um, the police, the government, and the actual people who are from this country. I believe that those who go out protesting for the wrong reason or nonsense should receive harsher penalties instead of just the slap on the wrist or maybe the arrest and the release, um, in order to make way for those who actually need to protest for real reasons. If you follow American history, there has been real reasons to protest in this country. And right now, you see a lot of different things in the recent years where it's protesting for something that wouldn't even make a change, where you're just yelling and ranting in the streets. And so I believe that that should get off of our news and go back to where they're actually from to do what they want to do. And that's where I'm at.
Okay, cool. I like that you're in school for drug and alcohol counseling. That's actually what I do for a living. I work in drug rehabs
Oh,
in
nice.
Orange County as their psych nurse.
Wow.
So I work like directly with drug and alcohol counselors. It was pretty cool. I like that. I like what they do. They like what I do. We go hand in hand in that setting. So good
Awesome.
luck. It's a really good
Thank you.
career path.
Um, to comment on some of, you could briefly state your first law that you would change again.
I stated that I would change. I would have stricter and harsher laws for rapists because, yeah, they tend to get like 7 years and they're out. Sometimes just probation and then registering as a sex offender versus actually serving real punishments.
What was your second one that you
My
said?
second one was I believe that we give a lot of funding to other countries, and it's to the immigration part of America. Half of, well, 80% of America is suffering in debt right now, um, due to medical reasons and education. Those are things that we cars are things that people are getting because they want to get them, not because they. You have to go to school because you have to survive. You have to get medical because health issues happen and you can't control those. So I think that those are not things that America should be in debt for. While we're funding so much for immigration and giving free medical out, and that shouldn't be a thing when we're all suffering.
That is very true.
So
If I could comment, I completely agree. That was my favorite from the three that you have chosen. It really resonated with me, and I do feel strongly about immigration in the country because a lot of people they come here with the wrong motives and they believe that
yeah.
this free country, everything is free. They have the wrong idea of what the definition of free is. And so a lot of help that is free, Medi-Cal,
Hmm.
food stamps, Section 8, it's not supposed to, or it's not intended long term. It's intended as a stepping stool. And so if you're not doing certain things to show progress, I believe that it should be taken away from you. And so a lot of
Yeah,
people,
I agree with that too. Yeah,
mm,
because literally, I even when I was looking, that's so that you can literally the same day you come, no record of who you actually are. If you're new to America, can get your SSI benefits and health benefits like the same day as soon as you get here, which is cool. But then why am I paying $500 a month
mhm,
and working and I can't get free insurance. I don't think that should be claimed.
Very true. Yes. Yes, it goes on and on with that, and
Hmm.
fortunately, the laws always change on that, and
Yeah.
can only pray for in the United States that it goes in our favor.
Right, right,
I
right.
think we're at our 10-minute mark.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Jerome. Bye bye.
Bye.